Absolute Batman issue 2. Now, this one I found to be like, issue 1 I found to be intrigued by the end. Like, the treatment of this new take on Batman and this new take of this section of the DC Universe. And the thing is, I was a little bit like, look, like, as much as I was intrigued by it, all I saw was young version of the Dark Knight Returns Batman, right? Where I saw Batman find the pie animals, the mutants. Batman's big as the huge musty dude, like he was in Dark Knight Returns. All I saw was just a younger version of the Dark Knight Returns. He isn't Witch, right? But I think what that was a sense of Batman being my guy. I know out of the big three, Batman's the my favorite DC character. As cliche as it is, and I bear to God, your eyes are rolling in the back of your fucking head, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? I'm sorry, it just it is what it is. There's a little bit more of okay, like it's weird. Like I'm able, you know, watch a Batman movie or play a video game or whatever, or watch something Batman related and just accept it what it is. But this one, I became a little bit of a I don't know, fanboy or whatever it is, and going, give me something new, and anything that reminded me or anything, that's not good, or it just feels a little bit, oh, I've seen that, done that. And that's how I did the whole like, oh, this is this young version of Dark Knight Returns. It's just he's broke, and I think with this issue, all that stuff kind of got thrown out of the window. Like I think now I accepted this is what this take on this character is, and I enjoyed it. Like, yeah, so there's the mutant gang. Sure, there's the new stuff. Sure, Batman drives a tank. Seriously, they introduced the Batmobile in the last couple of pages of this issue, and it's a tank. It's a fucking tank, which I couldn't help be like, yeah, so it's nice giant, influences when it comes to other Batman stories. Dark Knight Returns is clearly one big one. Where the moment as I listed all the things, and there's a fucking tank. Batman's joining a fucking tank, as big as the Dark Knight Returns one. But what I enjoy from it is there's two, actually in a way there's kind of like the three sections of this book. There's stuff doing with Alfred, there's the stuff in flashbacks mode, and then there's a scene where Bruce and his friends, which got established to be pretty much villains, or who would normally be villains. He's friends with Harvey Dent, who of course Two-Face, Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin, Edward Bigma, Riddler, Wesley Jones, Killer Croc, and have this poker scene and this poker game, and you realize Bruce is only there just so you can get information, mainly from Riddler, but from Edward, but you can tell he's just there for information. He's just using his friends for information, kind of stuff. But anyway, there's three sections of this, and this issue, I was the most intrigued by it. Like, I was like, the first half is about what is Bruce's routine, what is Alfred learning, because this version Alfred isn't a butler, he's an MI6 agent, and he's constantly seeing Bruce as Batman or himself helping people, fighting off the pie animals, who are this, once again, or as I said or whatever, this gang that's terrorizing Gotham. And Alfred is like, this guy's trying to help. Maybe we should tag him along. And his MI6 offers are like, no, Agent Pennyworth, you must do it by yourself, but release Batman from your protection. And it's like, but you can see this bondness there, because you can tell by the first issue, Alfred was a little bit hesitant of like, who's the hell is this dude? Who's this guy with the giant axe and like knives coming out of the bat ears and all that? Well, like, who is this guy? Who is he? And And you can see in 2 weeks he's slowly learning about him. And there's also a level of treatment and his opinions on Bruce. Like, even simple things like he would go once a week and go to to a prison cell and talk to Joe Chill, who's the guy who normally kills Bruce Wayne's parents. In this case, just Thomas. And you just feel this bondness, and he's just, and Alfred says, I'm like him, but essentially I like him even more. I like Bruce even more just because he goes and sees the guy who once a week visits the guy who killed his father, and he just sees his friendships going blah 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 blah. But Bruce's case, for Batman's case, it's still this weird, like, I work alone kind of thing. And by the end, I was like, this is going to be a really well done, I think, this establishment. And it's going to be different. It could be also a sense like, this is maybe how you do a Batman or Robin thing, where maybe having Robin in the side, but no. There might be a Robin, a take on Robin, out through the line. The second section of this is flashbacks, when we're getting more this version of Batman's origin. We know that Joe Chill was a random guy who decided to go on a shooting spree because America, and while Thomas Wayne going on a field trip, who is also Bruce Wayne's father, for detection and helping the other kids, he locks them into a sanctuary at the zoo and takes the bullets from Joe Chill. And at the beginning, you just see Bruce as this, like, 10-year-old kid just screaming, saying, from the other side of the door, saying, Dad, come up, get up. And you feel this sense of emotion through the artwork, from the writing, that Bruce is so, like, he's trying to say, come on, like, you can do this, you can get up, like, there's this bullets. And then it becomes a horror show, where you just, like, I can't, like, it's not just your father died in a mass shooting, best way to say it, right? There's one thing to say that. But to top of that, bunch of bats start to hover you. And then it turns into fucking Dexter for a second, because Gordon is the one who sees Bruce, which is kind of normally how it goes, sees Bruce with all the bats kind of gathering around, biting him, and naturally this, like, 10-year-old kid is screaming out his mind. And because of all he experienced that day, he immediately is distant. And the only person that he can connect to is Selena, who is referenced in the book, and of course we meet at the last page. Because there's a scene between Martha and Gordon saying, hey, Bruce, I used to know every little detail about him, but now I don't know anything about him. And it reminds me of that line from, I think it was Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, where someone asked us about his childhood, and he said, I had a childhood once, it ended at 8, and it kind of shows that. Because his friends, his childhood friends, are knocking at the door saying, hey, Bruce, come out, and Martha's trying to say, hey, your friends are out, they're right outside the door. And he just screams, like, get out, I say get out. And you just feel this emotion, and how from this day onwards, he's just going to push everyone away. He's going to be pushing people away to a certain point to make it feel like it's like the relationships and the friendships that he is comfortable having. Then it's like it could be the sense of the one person that he loves. No, not loves. The one person he looked up to the most is gone. And then with the bats, this horrible thing happens. And it just, it's all, and then it comes around by it. Now the third thing is the table scene, which I just like because we get a sense of the friendship that Bruce has with his friends, and with this poker table, which is a simple thing, and it's really well written. But you can also see the level of like Bruce is just there just so he can get information. He's not there to actually play poker. He's there to get information about the pineapple and its gang, which is clearly, I don't know if it got reference in issue one, but clearly this is meant to be Black Mask. This is meant to be a version of Black Mask with like, who's this Roman guy? Who is this guy? Who's this? Who's that? Clearly this is meant to be Black Mask. So, and I will say, anytime that the Pineapple Gang or Black Mask, or who back, I think it's Black Mask. So Black Master's dialogue in this, and he said, and how he's kind of like, "Hey, Groovy Bat, how are you? Well, I see you're having fun there. You're my type of fun that I'd like to hang around. But sadly, right now the police." Like, I really enjoyed his dialogue. I really enjoyed the Pineapple's dialogue in this. I was like, okay, this is quite fun about it. But yeah, this version Bruce is warming up me. I actually I kind of like the idea of a badass Alfred, like the MI6 agent Alfred, make Alfred James Bond pretty much. Which it could be just me as Bond fans kind of say, hey, anyone who's kind of like Bond, I'm like, yay, like yippee. But yeah, this issue, quite enjoyed. Quite enjoyed. If you've seen the issue, comment below. Let me know your thoughts.